Once hailed as Hollywood's golden girl, Rachel Zegler rocketed to fame faster than almost anyone in recent memory. But just as quickly, her career became one of the messiest cautionary tales in the industry. From viral social media meltdowns to behind-the-scenes chaos, Zegler has gone from adored starlet to internet punching bag. And yet, against all odds, she's staging a comeback. So, what really happened to Rachel Zegler? And why can't anyone stop talking about her? Buckle up. We're breaking down the rise, the fall, and the unpredictable next chapter of one of Hollywood's most controversial young stars. Rachel Zegler's story reads like a Hollywood fairy tale, at least at first. In 2018, a teenager from New Jersey submitted a viral YouTube audition tape for Steven Spielberg's West Side Story.
And then they called me kind of late December of 2018, and they said, "We want you to come in one last time." And when I got it, I screamed, "Holy shit." And then I just started crying. To this day, I mean, 1 out of 30,000, you say, what are the odds? And you're like, 1 out of 30,000.
To everyone's shock, including hers, she landed the lead role of Maria, beating out thousands of hopefuls, including Broadway veterans. The film premiered to critical acclaim. Rachel won a Golden Globe, was hailed as a once-in-a-generation talent, and became a red carpet darling overnight. Suddenly, Hollywood couldn't get enough. Magazine covers, talk show appearances, and interviews painting her as the next Jennifer Lawrence. She was young, talented, outspoken, and unapologetically confident. But with fame came scrutiny, and Rachel wasn't ready for what came next. When Disney announced Rachel as the live-action Snow White, the internet exploded. Some fans cheered the casting of a Latina actress in the iconic role, calling it a win for representation. But the backlash was swift and brutal. Critics slammed Disney for what they called forced wokeness, while others targeted Rachel personally, accusing her of stealing the part. Rachel didn't help matters. In press interviews, she called the original Snow White weird, said the prince was basically a stalker, and vowed her version wouldn't be a Saved by the Prince story.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
To hardcore Disney fans, this was blasphemy. By the time Snow White hit theaters, the PR disaster was already in full swing. Audiences stayed away, the box office tanked, and the film became one of Disney's most embarrassing flops in years. But while the movie collapsed on screen, Rachel's own image was imploding even faster. Rachel has never been one to stay quiet, and that's part of what fans initially loved about her. But as the criticism mounted, her online comments started to backfire. When Timothée Chalamet stepped onto the red carpet with Kylie Jenner, Rachel couldn't resist poking fun. She tweeted, "Is Club Chalamet gonna be okay?" A cheeky jab that instantly went viral. Fans were divided. Some laughed, others accused her of throwing shade she hadn't earned. Then came the Minecraft movie controversy. As the film smashed box office records, Rachel joked on social media, "Guess the chicken jockeys were too much for the kids?" It was meant to be playful, but the internet turned on her again. Jack Black, the film's star, even reportedly poked fun at her backstage, fueling the drama. Suddenly, the confident, witty star was being labeled arrogant, entitled, and out of touch. Rachel's biggest battles weren't on movie sets. They were on Twitter and Instagram. She clapped back at critics who called her Snow White singing weak. She fired off political takes, including harsh anti-Trump posts and a highly controversial Free Palestine message during the Snow White press tour. Disney, reportedly panicked, hired a social media manager just to monitor her posts. While some admired her outspokenness, others saw a young star unraveling in public. After one particularly inflammatory tweet, Rachel issued a rare apology, admitting she let her emotions get the best of her. But by then, the damage was done, and behind the scenes, things were spiraling even more. Early on, there were whispers. During West Side Story, insiders claimed Rachel clashed with choreographers and had strong opinions on costumes and staging. Confidence, some said. Hubris, others thought. On Snow White, things got worse. Reports emerged of emotional breakdowns, tense arguments with co-stars, and clashes with director Mark Webb. The most shocking rumors involved Gal Gadot, who played the evil queen. According to insiders, the two actresses had multiple disagreements on set, some linked to Rachel's political posts, others to creative differences. Rachel's growing reputation for being difficult became Hollywood's worst-kept secret. Studios began reconsidering future projects, and a highly anticipated Blumhouse horror trilogy allegedly dropped her after the negative press. Yet, despite it all, Rachel refuses to disappear. She's starring alongside Marissa Tomei in She Gets It From Me, a comedy drama about a mother-daughter duo that's already generating Oscar buzz. Critics who've seen early cuts are calling it Rachel's comeback vehicle, praising her emotional depth and range. But perhaps her boldest move is across the Atlantic. This summer, Rachel will debut on London's West End as Eva Perón in Jamie Lloyd's revival of Evita, a role made famous by legends like Patti LuPone and Elaine Paige. Rachel has spoken passionately about her childhood love of the show, remembering singing Don't Cry for Me Argentina with her father. Jamie Lloyd calls her a phenomenal talent, and the producers are backing her fully. Still, fans are divided. Some are thrilled to see her stretch her wings in theater. Others are skeptical, questioning whether she has the gravitas for such an iconic role. Social media remains a battleground, with supporters calling her brave and critics labeling the casting another misstep. The production, notably, is offering reduced price tickets for young people and essential workers, a smart move to widen its audience and perhaps win back some public goodwill. So where does that leave Rachel ZEGLER? At just 24, she's already lived through a career arc most actors never experience, from overnight sensation to industry pariah to potential comeback kid. The public remains divided. Some see her as a young woman unfairly targeted for speaking her mind. Others view her as a cautionary tale about unchecked fame and ego. But one thing's clear, Rachel's story isn't over. She's still getting major offers, still turning heads on red carpets, and still refusing to play by the rules. Whether that leads to redemption or another collapse remains to be seen.